I am of a great opinion that there's a lot of healing that needs to be done in our space. And I'm speaking as an African woman, and particularly a Nigerian woman who has gone through a series of bumps in the road, bittersweet experiences, a lot of which has shaped the woman that I am right now. For those of you that know my brand, and for those of you that know my person, you can testify to a lot of evolution and the process of that. But behind the scene, it was never always rosy. In fact, growth is very messy, can be very messy. And I learned also that healing is not linear. And this particular phrase can really fly over our head. It becomes that catchphrase or that trendy word that we use, healing is not linear. But literally, I want to tell you today, and when I say not linear, it means that there's a day you get yourself and there's a day you don't. There's a day you think you got it right, and there's a day that you're going to almost blame yourself for making a terrible mistake. But one thing I can assure you is that growth is an ascension, but never is it a straight line up there. But you have moved from point A to point B, not only in height, but in place, in capacity. So when you start something here and it's going up, even though it's going up and down, it's not going up and down in the same place. Neither is it going up and down on the same level. So what does that teach us? It means that for every level of ascension, there is up and down, ebbs and flows. And these are going to tear and break every moment. For every layer of awakening, there's another layer of breaking waiting for you. And I am going to leave you guys with 5 A's that govern my process of growth. And that is awakening. So awakening is when you seek knowledge and so certain truths now come to terms with you, aligns with you. And now you have to grow from that truth because that truth needs to integrate. So awakening. And the second process was acceptance. Because let me tell you something, your process of healing is going to shake you to a bit where you might even almost start blaming and shaming yourself. But you need to accept both the high and the low of your story. It has happened. You need to accept your light and your shadows. Now, while you're accepting it, are you going to take accountability or are you going to shift the blame on wherever you think it's coming from? Because let me tell you, in the game of life, there are always players involved, not just one single player. There are many players involved. But there's one player that can do what govern his own space, and that player is you. No matter what has happened to you in life, there sometimes, and I'm going to give a caveat to certain circumstances that are beyond our control, there are bad people out there. There are bad situations that just occur. They have nothing to do with your input. They are just bad. But when you talk about patterns in life, there's a part you play in that. Is that through your programming, your belief system, your core values, or a fear or a limiting belief that is holding you back from taking charge, right? So accountability is important, not because you want to own all the situation, you can't, but to accept, but look at which area am I playing a role, and it could just be a pattern thing. Next part is audacity. See, audacity is something I've always had. But when you go through the process of growth, audacity starts to take a different form. It starts to be more governed. It starts to become more contained. You have audacity, but you have wisdom. You have audacity, but there's discernment. You have audacity, but there's control. There's audacity, but there's, the way, the how, the why, the when. Because audacity without control is like a raging fire that can burn every forest, even though the fire can still cook food. But the fire doesn't have control. What will it do? To blow the house. Good. And finally, what does all this lead to? To finding who you truly are, authenticity. I've heard from my studies that authenticity is the highest frequency any human being can exist as. And for me, that is what I am living for, living towards, uncovering who the real Kaffy is. So are you ready to be on a journey to uncover who you really are? And if that resonates with you, comment the word, I want to be authentic, and join the community today. See you. Sister Circle, transformation is our mission.